Welcome back, everybody. Hey, my name is Lauren. I'm again joined by. I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right. Snagging
That's close, yeah. I mean,
I-
the way I say it. Snagging Inez.
Snagging
Snagging
Shenanigans backwards.
Shenanigans.
Fellow co-caster. Um, Cast Chair League. Like I said, between the games, give him a shout out. He's also an '85 DeLorean,
Newly added.
so he's super cool. Automatically.
Always. Guaranteed. And an East
we got-
Coaster. And a DC.
The next
Resident.
game. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, we live very close together too. It's pretty cool. Next draft is already underway. We're gonna see Divine Nine go up against West Coast Express. Let me go ahead and update the draft screen and flip us over. And there we go.
And Falstad's already the first ban on Divine Nine. Another Towers of Doom map. So Falstad, one of those globals. Always good to be able to, if they didn't want to take them, they basically don't want West Coast Express to take them. So.
I think it's a smart choice. Phantom Puppy said you happen to play saxophone or something. No.
I do play saxophone, actually.
Well, see, Snag plays it. I guess he was asking because I always play like hip hop, jazz stuff. No, I just think it's chill music. I listen to it a lot when I'm writing code and stuff. So
Soothing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Plays the blowhorn. Not so much.
Like
Not
Kappa
so
Pride.
much. Kappa Pride. Samro is the band. We were talking about this last time. The second pick team is more or less contractually obligated to take Samro off the board in these situations until he gets toned down.
And followed up with the Malfurion. Top healer right now. First pick by Divine Nine. Always a solid choice. We saw this last game as well. I mean, he's too strong. Granted, he did lose last game, so maybe not.
I mean, it was close.
It was close.
There are definitely some hair-raising team fights. Twilight Dream got a lot of work done. I think it comes down to the severity of burst damage that Malfurion's going up against, especially if he's in a solo support capacity. Johanna and Zul are going to be the pickup. So this is a very different draft from what we saw last game, man.
Very different. Especially the Joanna priority first. I mean, she's not a tank that you would normally see as a top priority, especially over Murden, ETC, Chen. I mean, Joanna's up there, definitely. But I definitely wouldn't see her as a first pick.
Yeah, me neither, but it kind of comes... So in some situations, the draft can become like an arms race of sorts. Like, I feel like there are three main control tanks right now. ETC, Murden, and Johanna. If one of the teams picks those up by the second ban phase, they could quite easily put the crunch on their opponents by banning out one of the other three. So maybe West Coast Express are looking to ban ETC or Murden going into the ban phase. Guess we'll have to see. But Kael'thas, another interestingly high choice. I don't think that was going to be highly contested.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that he's still damaged. I mean, the only thing that's changed to him is his living bomb. I mean, landing flame strikes around people that are sitting around a shrine trying to click the shrine and stuff like that could still be pretty scary, especially if he decides to go the flame strike quest talent and doesn't die. I mean, that becomes some damage.
Murden is going to be the choice for Divine Nine. They do not want to get boxed out of a potential frontliner. How your team chooses to engage is very important, so they want to make sure they pick up Murden. What this says to me about Divine Nine is that they are a team that has comfort picks, but they also want to try to get them early enough to see what the other team is doing, to try to counter pick towards the back end of the draft. Because, like I said, Kael'thas can do work, but as far as favor and prioritization in the meta, you don't tend to see him this early in the draft these days.
Right, and I definitely like the next two bans that came in. Lost Vikings, it's just one of those heroes on this map that can be so annoying to deal with. I mean, even though you might be good, you might win against it, you might lose against it, but it really comes down to dealing with Vikings, and it's just becomes so annoying. It's kind of like Abathur for me. I hate dealing with Abathur. Vikings along the same lane. Wow.
Interesting, Snag. Asmodan selection. This is a map that he could surprisingly do really well on. If West Coast Express are able to secure team fights handily and give him time to push a lane, he could burn down a keep like in the blink of an eye.
All right, so real quick, on the spot, Is he going to go Taste for Blood or Siege and Wrath?
With this map specifically in mind, I'm going Siege and Wrath.
Going Siege and Wrath?
I feel like West Coast, they're looking to not necessarily team fight. Between Zool and Azmodan, their wave clear and push potential is going to be insane.
Definitely. I could see them, if they've coordinated enough, I could see Taste for Blood being super strong here. You have Johanna in one lane, you have Zool in the next lane. Azmodan sits in the middle, that can stack up pretty quick. I'd like
throwing those long rangers
all the time. He doesn't even need to fight.
Well, I mean, it definitely adds context to the Johanna pickup. And they've identified that they have some high health pool heroes, so they're going to go ahead and avail themselves of the Renegade.
Yeah, since they didn't ban it, neither team banned it. They're figuring Tychus is not bad on the team no matter what, so might as well pick it up. That way we can't be hurt by it.
It's kind of funny. We're seeing Malfurion and Muradin going up against Tychus again this draft.
Yep. But at this time, Tychus doesn't have the lockdown potential that we had in the last game. And so Tychus is not going to get as much value with his minigun. I mean, he'll always get value, but it won't be as scary.
Khaled Fortuna agrees with you. Easy stacking with Johanna on this map. Mouth is strong, but I don't know about too strong. I think supports need buffs. I would agree with that. I feel like supports are getting to a really good place. Really, in my opinion, only Karazim and Rhaegar are kind of like out in the cold.
Yeah. And I think the only fix they need to do for Rhaegar is his ancestral himself. They nerfed his run speed now since they nerfed all mount speed, and he can't self cleanse anyways. I think if they give himself ancestral, I think he'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Rhaegar is in a lot of ways. I mean, outside of just a comfort pick, he's kind of a dead hero because. Yeah. The moment he jumps on the front line, he can't cleanse himself, he can't ancestral himself. The correct answer is always to blow his face up. Like,
yeah.
Immediately.
Pretty much. And since they nerfed his wolf, his movement speed, he's slow to catch up. I mean, he's only a little bit faster than Brightwing, but that was a lot of his mobility in the team fights, was being able to bite in, wolf out, and be able to be mobile that way. But with the Zagara pickup, they're looking to try to counter some of the push potential of West Coast Express, so that they can't lose all the lanes. Make sure they get some of their own push. Another Alarak.
Malfurion, Muradin, and Alarak back again. The three amigos, apparently. Yep. Zagara definitely reads to me like a response to this insane wave clear from West Coast Express. I think there's a strong argument for Nidus Network in this situation. So Zagara will be able to zip around the map and respond to what stands to be a copious amount of siege pressure.
Definitely. And I mean, I really like the Alarak against an Azmodan. If he doesn't get the walking burn laser, I mean, Alarak has two ways to stop it, which is strong. Granted, Azmodan's not usually using laser in a team fight if he's going any type of stack build. If he's close enough to use laser, he's probably doing it wrong. But sometimes you can't help but get jumped on by Muradin and rooted by Malfurion and stunned by Kael'thas. So a lot of lockdown potential by the side of Divine Nine.
With the Brightwing pickup, I feel like both teams have a pretty good amount of lockdown. Bone Prison into Condemn, potentially with Blessed Shield and Polymorph. That should at least be full minigun duration. Tychus is the star of the show here, in my opinion. I mean, Azmodan late game, if he goes for the stacks and he gets those built up, then yeah, obviously that's going to be a problem, especially for his solo support Malfurion. But
yeah, I mean, both healers on both sides are sustain healers. They're not ones to counter any type of burst healing. So the Azmodan is, if he gets some late game stacks and some really big gloves, unless Malfurion goes Tranquility, then they're going to be hurting to keep up with that. But on the other side, Brightwing's not the best healer against KT and Alarak. So
right. Proximity healing into an AoE damage dealer that thrives on the enemy team being in close quarters, or at least close to each other. The Fire Mage might get some numbers today.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, out of the top of my head, looking at these two comps, I really want to see. I think I'm going to call West Coast Express right here, based off the draft only. Only because I want to see Azmodan win.
I would say that they have more potential than Divine Nine's composition. I would say. I'm concerned for this Alarak pick.
It's gonna be hard for him to go
if
in.
he goes for that if he goes for that charge strike ability and he jumps in there, he's gonna get bone prisoned like immediately, and they're gonna punch his face in. Like he's gonna get rocked if he jumps in there like that. So the timing of him and Muradin jumping in there has to be pretty much flawless in line with Kael'thas's burst, or else
Yeah, because as soon as he
Alarak's
gets
going away.
as soon as he gets rooted by Zool, I mean, he has to use the telekinesis. If he doesn't have telekinesis to get up and to get out, then he's gonna be in trouble because he doesn't have that much sustain. I mean, he's got that one little lightning bolt, but it's only so much he can keep himself up with.
It's gonna be an instant fire sale. Like everything must go. But we are
Is that
loading
outside the KT.
Yep. I mean, pun intended. We're loading into the game now, though. We will find out who will come out on top between Divine Nine and the West Coast Express. The more I'm thinking about it, I think we will see the stacks. You go for you pick up Johanna first.
Yeah.
And Azmodan's later. Like, yeah, that's almost guaranteed to be.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to go Taste for Blood. Even on a single lane by itself, if they do one lane well enough, I mean, it's not going to be that fast, but you can get scary late game. And Towers of Doom usually goes late game. It's not one where you're going to instantly see, a 40-0 tower shots unless one team really gets rocked.
Well, we'll see. On the left side, we got a Divine Nine who testing their B keys out. You're going to have Jason on Malfurion, Rabbit Penguins on Muradin, Reaper of Wars playing Alarak, Ice Fox Emily is on Zagara, and come on. Nianou's on Kael'thas.
And on the side, the red side, West Coast Express, you got Mark on the Zool, T-Wong on the Joanna, Torellian on the Azmodan, Heavy Veggie on Tychus, and Magic Turtle on Brightwing. Great name. And they're already showing the set, so right away we see Azmodan in the middle, and they know it. Wow, Divine Nine calling it out right away. Those senses knew that he was going to be in the middle there.
Oh no! Azmodan takes that evening stroll between mid and bot, finds out that there be monsters. Telekinesis into an unending CC chain, sends Azmodan back to start.
And you're right, he went Sieging Wrath, not Taste for Blood.
Interesting.
So you would imagine right there, he should have, dunked right there. That was 4 stacks on top of him. If he's gonna die, might as well dunk. So misses out of 4 stacks right there, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Sieging Wrath is just kind of like the more conservative stacking talent. I really like that they added it. It hasn't really brought his man back to the forefront, but he can get some work done. Zagara Zool stands to be an interesting matchup. A potential engage down below. Polymorph under towers. Alarak showing signs of aggression with the counter engagement, though. Heavy Veggie dashes back. It should be okay.
Yeah, he just walked away a little bit, but said, okay, I'll walk away, but you're coming with me. Coming with the telekinesis and the silence. Yeah, Zool's having a tough time against the Zagara. Every time Zool comes in to use his sweeps against Zagara's infested minions, I mean, that Hunter Killer is doing work on him.
Yeah, he went for Shade. That's a pretty long cooldown now. That does stand to give him some sustain. He's pretty much playing for 7 at this point. He'll have a lot more durability should he go for those sustain talents at 4 and 7 respectively. But until then, yeah, he's going to get poked down for real.
And it looks like so far Divine Nine is prioritizing the bottom shrine and the left shrine more than the 2 tops. There's 3 up top and 2 in the bottom, but I mean, if West Coast sniffs this out, they could probably punish this Alarak.
He is not afraid to stand out on the fringe, and he is on an island. Reaper of War does use telekinesis. There isn't much in the way of lockdown, so you can more or less go in there for free, but Rabbit Penguin is down. One of the altars are already picked up for Divine Nine in the top left corner. Rabbit Penguin goes back, catches an orb for his trouble, but it looks like they're going to concede this bottom altar and try to make a play top right. Ooh.
Yeah, the great stun by KT really scared him off with the damage. So, I mean, and they still have time. They delayed enough where they have time to come up here and rotate to this fight, too.
Yeah, I feel like Divine Nine might have wanted to make more of an issue if they were willing to give up the bottom altar, but Brightwing goes away. That's going to be the second takedown, along with Zul for the third. Reaper of War trying to get in there. The telekinesis, Tychus is going to get blown up.
And Joanna was getting real close too, so it's looking scary. I mean, they're definitely utilizing that KT. His Flame Strikes and Living Bomb is doing damage.
I mean, Kael'thas and Alarak both are looking like rock stars at the moment. One thing that's interesting to me about this, they won that team fight quite convincing. They gotta feel good about that. At level 1, Malfurion goes for Shando's Clarity. I would have imagined we would have seen the Siege talent at level 1 for Malfurion in response to this crazy amount of Siege pressure that the Zul Azmodan combination can bring to the table. But if you can kill them all...
Exactly. Who needs Siege when they're dead? It looks like they're opting to steal the West Coast's mercs. Get a little push. Brightwing gets pushed out by Reaper. Gets the great stun. Alarak, it didn't even have to be in front of him. Was actually body blocking him and telekinesis him outwards to the rest of the team. It's a great use of his abilities.
Divine Nine showing early signs of aggression out of the gate. That telekinesis, like, that's just a psychological thing, if anything.
And that's something that Kerrigan cannot do. So that's one of the pros. Kerrigan's in there. Her can only go one way. So
right. It's it just forces you into a passive mindset when you see that Alarak is going to be landing these telekinesis pushes to that kind of degree.
And interesting, he doesn't decide to go for the Discord, damage talent at 7. He goes for the reduce cooldown on his healing ability, trying to say, I'm probably going to be a little bit forward all the time, so I'm going to try to rely on my own heals. A little bit of a miss on the Tychus, but gets the silence anyways with the follow-up KT. Tychus goes down in the mid lane.
I mean, you get caught out at all against Divine Nine, and you can find out what it is like. I mean, I guess for level 7, Alarak wanted to go for the cooldown reduction, which should help with poking at the altars. But again, if they're dead, you don't have to worry too much about that.
Catching Brightwing with the Malfurion root and the Brightwing still goes down to that living bomb damage. KT doing work. And this should definitely secure the bottom shrine for Divine Nine.
For context, so Jazon's going to be able to pick that up without much trouble. Kael'thas has 12,000 hero damage. Alarak has 11. The highest damage on the side of West Coast Express is now Azmodan with 7,000.
Wow, so they're going to be hurting. They need to get up there. Azmodan's not really that far on his stacks. I mean, he's 17 out of 25, so he'll get up there. It's 5 minutes in. So he'll definitely hit that before probably the 7-minute mark, I would imagine. Tychus is chasing around the wrong direction. Just going to do a big ring around the Rosie. Hopefully he can get out, but the stun from Murden secures the kill.
Yeah, I mean, he had to take the scenic route if he wanted to try to get out of there. I don't know, he might have been better off just trying to walk past Zagara. Going around that way, that's a long way home, buddy. Tychus goes down.
And the follow-up on Joanna, they're trying to get some body blocks in. Good stun follow-up. They're really using their combos really. Malfurion has almost no mana, so she can't use her Entangling Roots, otherwise that might have been a kill on Zul.
Another thing that I'm thinking about now, level 10 is picked up for Divine Nine. The cooldown reduction on the Innervate, I'm sure that's putting a smile on Kael'thas' face right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's true. I mean, his cooldowns are already super short. So, but the thing about that, KT has a cooldowns of, every 6 seconds, right? And the clarity for Malfurion is 25 still. So it's still, I don't know if it's that worth it, but it's still nice.
I mean, one way or the other, they have to feel pretty good about this current progression. Level 10 was picked up. We're looking at Twilight Dream, Avatar, Counter-Strike. Yeah, I didn't see him trying to dive in there too far. Devouring Maul and Pyroblast. Spicy.
Yeah, they're saying, we're already ahead. 8 kills to 0. I'm just going to get more kills. Go blow somebody up.
Azmodan with the poke. Rabid Penguin catches the polymorph. Damage has him jump out of there. Counter-Strike goes in. Reaper of War is not afraid at all out on this front line, Snag.
No kidding. He's more in front than the rest of the team. Murden's having to run away. Reaper of War still's at full health, but Murden's getting low down with a double hit from the Malfurion and finishing up with the Zagara hit on the very end from Joanna.
Zul is go for launch with that Flame Strike, catapulting his body back towards the mid lane. there were so many low health bars on the side of Divine Nine. I'm like, how come? Like, just click on them. Like, them staying alive that long just gave them time to press a few more buttons
And Reaper's still in there. Like, he's been in there. Oh, the dunk from Asman secures the kill. Brightwing almost goes down for it, though. But that's the dunks. That's what we got to see.
Kael'thas bold enough. Oh, wow! Steps in there with the Flame Strike and casually strolls away.
He's just walking up to a laser Asmodan. It's like, I don't care.
Dude, this is a wild game, man. Yano just stepped forward, was like, all right, well, Brightwing, you're about to go away. The triple... Dude, Kael'thas is doing work. The triple gravity lapse. I knew this altar fight was over, but no, these death timers are not that long. Divine Nine comes back for the remix, and they're going to come away with this bad boy.
No kidding. I mean, that was a long fight. I mean, we had full death timers on both teams and still able to come back and fight for the second time. It would have been a different fight, but Asmodan at the end there was out of mana, and like he was not able to. He had a black cooldown and just sat there. It's like, why can't I cast my dunk? It would have done so much damage. But he was out of mana.
I mean, right now, this is a game that certainly favors Divine Nine. 12 takedowns to 4, but they're only up 8 points in the core, so West Coast Express could definitely look to make a comeback, but it's going to be hard when you catch Tychus out of position, root him down for this long. He's actually, might get away.
Barely gets
Bless
saved by
Shield goes in, but Rabbit Penguin with the long-range Storm Bolt over on the other side. Reaper, low on health, starts backing away. T-Wong forces him back. Heavy Veggies, lucky to be alive right now.
Yeah. Great save by the Blessed Shield by Joanna.
They're going to need acts of heroism like that to try to turn this bad boy around going in the mid-game. They need to get level 13 as well.
And we got a Maw on Zul in the top lane. With a little bit of B-step by the Outer Rock. He was just caught by all 4 of them. Guaranteed.
Manages to dodge the Discord strike, but Rabbit Penguin's like, all right, sir. I mean, I thought we might see Nida's Network going against this split push or siege potential snag, but again, it's hard to do much siege damage if you're dead.
Yeah, they really have not been able to push at all with the Asmodan or the Zul. I mean, Zul's gotten some damage on top lane, but he paid the price for it.
I mean, they haven't been on the left side of the map this that often, to be honest. T-Wong throws in the Condemn, a little bit of a rotation from West Coast. Members are getting poked down, but the orb is for real on Zagara. T-Wong again throws in the Condemn. Counter-Strike is going to miss this time. We're going to have 2 altars in the bottom part of the map.
And they don't have KT right now, so they could almost punish it, but it looks like Divine Nine's going to run away, knowing that they don't have KT. Rotate down to the towers.
Yeah, it wasn't a guarantee that they were going to get kills there, but it would have been a guarantee that Kael'thas would have helped himself to both of these altars. Ultimately, I think that was the right call. Rotation is down from both teams. Rabbit Penguin lands the max range Stormbolt on T-Wong. Nianu, the blind is just there to interrupt.
Yeah, so a good dunk from Asmodan, chunks down half a health of KT. KT gets the Power Blast out on the Zul, does not be able to kill him. The Brightwing Pixie Dust, or Brightwing pays for it almost.
Rabbit Penguin with the scuba dive goes and gets the kill on Brightwing. Zul drops right afterwards. 2-0 so far, 15-13. The orbs are doing damage, but it's not setting up any sort of kills. The follow-up just has not been there, Snag.
Yeah, there's just not enough burst damage or any type of real follow damage after the Asmodan. Asmodan gets his pokes in, but then Malfurion just throws out a wild growth on them, and they'll go back up as long as they stay out of the fight for a little bit. Big KT Flame Strike hitting 2 of them, almost chunks down Tychus.
I mean, Kael'thas. Reaper of War, I'm sure he's like, all right. 36-16 though. This Kael'thas pick, I mean, it's convinced me. I get the prioritization, Divine Nine. Hats off to you.
I mean, if you got a good KT player, play KT. And right now, Alarok's sitting at a 1-second reduction on his Lightning Surge, so that's pretty good at this, but it's hard to get those stacks. I mean, it's only get 0.2 per person hit. He's really been doing it well if he's already up to 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, to his credit, it's interesting. So Kael'thas has 37,000 hero damage, but Alarak, this young man is not far behind at all. A melee assassin almost getting the same amount of damage as an AoE mage. That's important to consider.
And now that Pixie Dust with they're fighting a talent tier down, but they don't have Zagara, so they're trying to make use of the fact that they're 4v5, even though they're down a talent tier. KT showing them that it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I mean, these chain bombs and flame strikes have been dead serious. The telekinesis on Heavy Veggie manages to avoid the Discord Strike and the Storm Bolt. Flame Strike goes in, Zul eating a bunch of damage, Counter Strike is going to happen. Blessed Shield bounces off the members of Divine Nine as Draken Laser Drill the entire time has been burning things down. But this poke pressure is just serious, Snag.
And it's actually, I didn't even think about this. The Alarak with the KT, if he's able to telekinesis 2 people, that's immediate spreads of Flame Bomb. So that's actually doing work, but KT goes down for it, and see if they can follow up with any other retaliation kills. Almost getting the Zul.
Mark on the ropes, Brightwing's passive healing. Ooh, gets knocked back. Revit is able to get away though. Heavy Veggie secures disengage with the Q. Tyrellian is going to go ahead and hearth back. A scrappy team fight from West Coast Express, considering that you're down a talent tier, but
I mean, only losing one person, but Zagara was able to push a fort up top during all that. I call that worth it, honestly. I mean, KT's not gonna be down. It's gonna guarantee 2 shrine or 2 bell towers on the side of West Coast, or maybe not. They're gonna invade here.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna give that up for free. The polymorph goes in on the Rabbit, but
not
he's
16
still
yet.
out there. The orb goes in on Jazon, who's low. Condemn as well. 16 is now finally picked up. Heavy Veggie's pretty low on health. Discord Strike's gonna silence
Two-man maul.
Brightwing. Magic Turtle, but the 2-man Maul's gonna set up something big, Snag.
I don't know if that Tranquility that hit him. I mean, I think it did, but either way, it got the kill on Tychus, which is enough.
Magic Turtle's gonna drop right afterwards. The damage is there on Mark. No flame bomb. The Storm Bolt just misses,
Barely
and Mark is gonna casually skate away with less than 100 health.
They're all getting the low on side of Divine Nine. If Asmodee gets a good dunk, this could do some work.
Here he goes. Hitting from the 3-point line, not able to secure any of these kills. That's tough, man. It just feels. Oh no! Asmodee gets a little too close to the fire, almost gets cooked for his trouble. But the last altar is going to get picked up, knocking them down to 6 remaining points on their court.
Yeah, that's definitely a strategy. And if they get the boss here, only dropping them down to 2, it's going to be really scary. I mean, they basically only need 1 shrine to win, guaranteed. And so this is going to make it very tough for West Coast to come back.
I mean, Snag, this has been impressive shot calling and coordination on the side of Divine Nine, and it's showing in the score, man. It's 17 takedowns to 5, 33 points to only 2, and I credit it to Jazon's sustainability on Malfurion, but this Alarak Kael'thas combination is crazy, man.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't expect it. I mean, they haven't had Zagara really, be participating in a lot of fights other than getting them all and then kind of just walking away.
I mean, Zagara just kind of comes in every now and again, throws out the deal with it, devouring Maul. Cleanse is going to help him get out of that. Reap reward. The nice Twilight Dream. Malfurion's actually going to be the first to drop. This could be a huge moment for West Coast Express.
Yeah, I mean, Malfurion was definitely way out of position on the rotation. They came from that Knights right there and just got rotated around, blocked, and Malfurion was on the wrong end of that. So this is the one comeback potential for West Coast Express. They do have the push now. Now's the time to utilize it.
Yeah, they come away with 2 kills, but I mean, they needed to try to get every last bit out of this if they wanted to have any hopes to turn this around.
KT is still having his presence known.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been really nice to get a kill on him. But look, he's actually going to come away with a kill, I think.
Almost.
Tychus drops.
So close.
This Kael'thas, man.
Yeah. The Brightwing blinked and spread chain bombs to herself.
They're not done. They're not done, Snag. They get the kill on Asmodee.
That was such a far gravity lapse. I can't imagine that actually hit. Like, that was at the very edge. And this should guarantee game for Divine Nine.
Tyrellian probably felt like, all right, guys, the team fights. Oh. I mean, it's lifted off the ground. Holy crap, man.
That's good.
I have a different understanding of Kael'thas in this current meta.
He is 30,000 ahead of the next person on his team.
That man's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, like,
at
the end of the fight, getting those flame strikes, just were able to turn so easily.
I mean, he was plucking those violin strings. That was tough. Some max range gravity lapses, the chain bombs. You know, he was Oprah Winfrey. He was like, you get a chain bomb, and you get a chain bomb. I just feel like taking Brightwing into that was a liability for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely tough with the. I mean, honestly, I almost would have rather seen Emerald win with the way that Alarak and Murden were diving in. I mean, that would have given a little bit more disruption, maybe push them a different way so they can get onto the KT. But honestly, I mean, the comp of side of West Coast Express, even getting the dunks, they didn't have too much follow up with it. Zul's not doing burst damage. Tychus, I mean, he has to get in there, but he's doing some damage. So they weren't really able to utilize any type of dunks that go on. Malfurion just throws out a heal on them, and they'll eventually get back without any type of threat.
Yeah, I mean, a fellow caster in arms in Virum said something that it's very poignant. Stuns win games. And I would caveat that into silences as well, because it just felt like anytime a Stormbolt went out on somebody, it was not over. Like, you were getting rooted, you were getting silenced, you were getting dragged out of position with telekinesis. There is that one fight snag in the top right corner of the map where the burst was so real, we legitimately could not see if the silence even landed. We couldn't see their name. They were just gone.
They came out of the mall, and the Flame Strike was right there waiting for them. It's like you come out of this big monster into a fire pit. It's like, come on, man.
It's like you just take your hands off the keyboard at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a Chair League shirt, Super Joe.
I do have a
See? We thought about this. We planned ahead, good sir.
Yeah.
But that was a very impressive showing from Divine Nine.
Definitely. I mean, I honestly think it was really funny to see the chain bomb spread after telekinesis. So he's like, you have a chain bomb? Hey, come here, hug this person. You get a chain bomb too.
You know, that's a synergy I never even considered. But it did absolute work there. It was just like, all right, guys, I guess I'm going to walk away. Oh, wait, why am I getting trapped? Get away from me, man. I do not want this chain bomb.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alarak had something else to say about it.
Yeah. I didn't see at the end there what Alarak was up to on his Lightning Surge, but I mean, it's interesting. He didn't get the range at 1, but he was still able to get a good amount of stacks. I mean, I'd be interested to see what his actual self-healing numbers are from picking that talent. Granted, it's always a good poke talent. I mean, Alarak can honestly poke shrines for days just because it's on such a short cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, going in the draft, I was concerned for Alarak because I was like, he goes in there, and once that root goes in, could have a rough time. But when you have a Kael'thas doing 80,000 damage,
yeah,
not
too much you could do about it.
And I mean, Asmodean got good amount of damage themselves. Like, he had 61,000 hero damage, but it's just the follow up just isn't there.
Yeah, I think they really were not able to utilize their push potential. I mean, they were always getting killed. They just could never actually get value out of their push comp. Maybe they just got tilted at the very beginning from getting that Asmodean get caught out. So it gets in your head.
I mean, conceptually, I think the Kael'thas pick just disrupted their entire plan. As far as follow-up goes, you look at West Coast Express composition. You have Asmodean. He can. They're playing Towers of Doom. He could throw an orb from Sky Temple and hit somebody. So you got the long-range burst damage. But the only follow-up, you're going to have Johanna, Zul, a melee specialist, and Tychus, who has some of the shortest range in the game as far as range damage dealers go.
Yeah.
They're all going to be in close proximity for a world-class flame strike and all these chain bombs. So you can't even really afford to step into that and try to really follow up off the orb damage because you're getting burned alive.
Yeah, definitely. And then Alarak is going to keep you there. It was definitely a great team comp. I mean, I wonder if they almost hurt themselves by taking Tychus, because it seemed like they took Tychus to not let the other team take Tychus. And honestly, I think that might have hurt them the most because they did not have the good damage to follow up on anything.
I would agree with that. I mean, it was like, I get it. Like, you take Tychus, you got Johanna and Asmodean. You don't want their health bars evaporating on you. But I mean, I guess side note, that's kind of what happened anyway.
Yeah, that happened
But
anyways.
it's just like Tychus isn't really the one to follow up with long range damage. Like if that was a Li Ming or something like that, where you can get that burst damage out a lot more reliably, preferably outside of telekinesis range.
Yeah,
Like if, or even Vala, even if that was Vala.
that's some Rain of Vengeances would definitely be helpful. Li Ming definitely would have been a better pick in my opinion.
I mean,
But-
there just seemed to be little in the way of consequence for engaging. Like Divine Nine just walked in. It's like, what you gonna root me? I'll get stunned for a quarter of a second with Condemn, and then by that time, half your team is probably like near dead because
Yeah,
Kel'Thas is the thing.
I'm actually very surprised of how long Alarak was always able to stay alive. Like it always seemed these team fights, he was always the last one, like one of the last ones. I mean, he's a melee hero who only has the telekinesis. I mean, late game he gets it at what, like a 6-second cooldown. But even in the early game, he was always in there and staying alive. Like he was never focused. That or he was just had great counter strikes. I mean, I wasn't really paying too close of attention to his counter strikes. I heard it go off a lot, but he must. I mean, he was always in there.
The Reaper of War, that was some of the most ham Alarak play I've ever seen. That just worked. Like he was just there. Like he was just there at the end of the fight. Just like, all right, well, they're all dead. Like, guess I'll just go get some more mana and get ready to do that one again. But great job by both teams. Really fun. But that coordination from Divine Nine, that was some impressive stuff, man. Division 3.
It was great. It was a good job.
But we do have another game, or a best of 3, a Pro Division set. Jumping to the other end of the spectrum at the top of the hour. It will be... Because I'm good at
25
this
minutes.
and I know what I'm doing. Envenom going up against the Lizard Wizards. I had the fortune of casting Envenom last week, and they put on quite the show going up against Tire Fire Pyre. So I'd imagine we would see some more fireworks there. Unfortunately, this young man...
I tried to be a little bit responsible. Make sure.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I try to tell myself I'm responsible by going to bed on time so I can get to work on time. But so I will not be joining you for the Pro Division as much as I would like to. It's been a blast. I really enjoy this. It's a lot of fun. Always like talking with you and hanging out with you. So
Yeah, man. Definitely give Snag a follow. This is his first time co-casting. I had a lot of fun. I look forward to doing it again. For
Me too.
He casts a good amount of chair league. It's getting in there.
trying to step my foot in the waters.
Hey.
Just gotten a couple weeks down so far. Always looking to get more practice. So, any advice? Shoot it my way. Happy to hear it.
So I think I guess I can just take a break. I guess I don't have to end the stream, but we will be going away for a little bit. But Pro Division set at the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere. My name's Lauren. This is Snag.
Snagging it is.
Snagging Inez.
Or shenanigans. Or snags.
We'll be back in a little bit. Don't go anywhere. See you.